folks, welcome to another lunchtime with Construction Ready and me, Kayleen McCabe. I'm so excited to be joining you again this week. As normal, we start off our shows with usually Scott and I geeking out about something a little bit nerdy. Scott is unable to join us this week, so I figured I would take a quick moment and geek out by myself and show you one of my latest creations. Some of you may know I'm a huge fan of Legos, and I just completed the succulent collection. And then I put this into a cake dish I found at Target. So you never know what you might have around your house. Again, Legos. I love the fact that I get to build in real life and then come home and continue to create things. So this week, I'm actually very excited because I'm joined by a guest who does all the time create stuff in real life, but only on a much, much larger scale. Today, we're going to be chatting with Cameron Newell from DPR. So we're going to go ahead and bring Cameron on and hear a little bit more about his story. Morning, Cameron. How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for lunch today. I'm really excited to chat with another contractor. And so before we dive into a bunch of my questions and nerding out, can you please tell me what is your role at DPR?
Sure. I'm a senior superintendent. Currently, I am on a large project in Gwinnett County, and really a three building project with a large staff out here. It's an exciting project.
That is incredibly exciting, and thank you really for taking the time. We don't always get a chance to chat with the senior superintendent because usually you all are insanely busy. So I'm really excited that you're squeaking out a little bit of time for us. So, all right. So before we dive in, we already kind of did dive in. I'd like to hear about how did you get to where you are right now? So can you tell me a little bit about your journey in construction? How did you get started, and how were you interested in it to start with?
Sure. So my father, my grandfather were in the construction industry, and so early on they put a shovel in my hand, and so just always in my blood. I'd always worked through school and work with my dad and my granddad, and really it came a point in my career where working with family just doesn't seem to work out all the time, and so I actually went to the SEPCA Career Expo, which was in the Gwinnett County at the time, and I hooked up with DPR Construction and met their field engineering department, and I got hired on that day at the expo and started the next Monday, and that's how I got in. That was almost 18 years ago.
Holy cow, that's absolutely terrific, and you're one of the originals, so it's pretty cool to see the success that SEPCA is continuing to have all of these years later. And so since you have been with the industry, it sounds like for a moment or two, what was your first job? What did you start out in?
So I got hired on actually hourly as a field engineer's helper. So I was, and really it's a great way to break into construction and field engineering. I think that different contractors call different things now, field techs, but basically did all the layout. So total stations, pulling tape, elevations for the level, really kind of touching with all of our different trade partners on site, and really maintaining that horizontal vertical control on the job. I mean, you got a set of plans. It's great. You got to orientate it to a point, right? Make sure you put the building in the right spots. That's what I did. I started out and worked my way up to a field engineer, and then naturally made a pathway from field engineer to superintendent, and then worked my way up.
Absolutely love it. Okay, quick question, because we do have a lot of students or people who have not worked in the industry yet. Were you nervous on your first day on the job site?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's funny, actually. My first job was the Cobb Energy Performing Arts Center, right, 285 and 75. And, there was nothing there, right? It was just a dirt lot. And I lived probably 5 miles from the job in an apartment. And it took me 30 minutes to find it. I kept going down the wrong roads. And then I circled back and realized it was right outside my front door. And so, yeah, I was definitely nervous. And, Yeah, I mean, that first day, went through orientation, which is funny. The senior super gave me the orientation that day. I'm still good friends with to this day. But yeah, he gave me my first orientation, and yeah, it was a little overwhelming being on a large project with lots of big drill rigs and trying to find your way for sure.
Yeah, I still get nervous parking on a job site. It is definitely overwhelming, but something that I think it's valuable for everyone to know that everyone is nervous on their first day, but it's not terrible because there's a lot of safety that goes into that. They're not just going to let you loose. Say, go have a great time. So
Yeah.
what is your favorite part of what you get to do now?
I think just being in the construction industry, no matter what you're doing, probably the coolest thing about it is how much diversity comes with your day-to-day operations. You're never doing the same thing every day, right? You're never interacting with the same people every day. I think that's really unique to our business and even with the projects we do. I mean, I've done so many different projects that you may think, hey, that's a high rise just like the next, but it's different, right? There are different components to it, different building designs, different systems that get put in place and different people you interact with every day, designers, owners, trade partners. So I think that's probably my favorite part of what I do is all those different interactions.
It is so rich because it's all over the place. And okay, do you drive by all your projects still with your family? Be like, I built that, I worked on that.
Of course, everyone does.
I think that's sort of the best part. Like, oh yeah, something that will never ever get old.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the great thing too is to have a concrete physical product that you can see when you're done, right?
Oh, 100%. I don't function well where my days are just based on a computer. I need to visually see what I did that
Right.
day. And so there is such value behind that.
Yeah.
So I love how you kind of grew up with it. I did too. It is nice not working with family, but being inspired by them.
Right.
So talk to me a little bit about what your process was. It was SEFCA, now updated, new name with Construction Ready. What was your process with them like?
So really my first interaction was the Career Expo, which has just blown up since then, since 2005. It was at Gwinnett County Fairgrounds, and then since then their venue has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I really value, that brought me to the table and to where I am today. So I've stayed very active with SEFCA in the Construction Ready program. I go back and do the skills team work judging every year, which is great to see all the young kids, inspired to build. And I try to do get involved with all the Construction Ready programs. So I've taught a couple classes in there before. And then most recently on the current project on now, we actually had our first class on site. So we held the last Construction Ready class on our project, which was great. So we actually ended up having 7 graduates that were completed, and DPR Concrete, our self-perform division, hired one of the people out of the program. So it was great.
Karen, this is amazing. I love it so much because too, I think part of it is demystifying the magic trick. Job sites are fun, but really from the outside, they're kind of scary. There's a lot going on. And so to actually get to learn the craft on a job site, what a gift. Yeah. I'm jealous. If I could handle the humidity, I'd be there in a heartbeat. But y'all make them tough.
Rough, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is very exciting. And I appreciate too that you give back with SkillsUSA, which is another one of my passion organizations, because that teamwork's competition. I'm sure you can see a lot of potential employees out of that. Absolutely. But tell me a little bit about, you are working with Construction Ready on a project that's currently being built in Gwinnett County. So can you tell me a little bit about that partnership?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our first one on site, and we plan to have more on site. For those who don't know the Construction Ready program, I mean, it's a 20-day class basically that is put on that you learn learn all the basics, right? You learn all the basics, get your OSHA 10, get certifications. You just learn all the things that we do day to day. So when you come out of that program, I mean, there's not much learning curve. You have the base, right, to be successful. And I think, beyond that, what's huge is the connections, right? I mean, you are, like you said, you're on this site already, right? We have major contractors here, DPR, McKinney's at Cleveland, that are coming in and teaching and getting to know these guys and then hiring them. And I mean, everyone that I've talked to has had great success rates with the guys coming out of these programs, and they're still with these companies, and great companies, great benefits, great future.
Yeah, and great opportunity, really. I hope a lot of folks are checking out, construction or constructionready.org for more information. But what is a website that if people are interested in checking out more information about DPR that they can go to?
Just DPR.com. You can go in there. We've got our Atlanta office. We're based out of California. So, there's opportunities all around the country. And really, talking back to my original job as a field engineer, in 20 years, the advances we've had, and field engineering now, we call field technology group, and goes into virtual design coordination. And, there's so many different pathways of careers at DPR right now. It's really amazing.
And it's the longevity. I'm happy you brought up the technology, because I am temporarily, for as long as I can, borrowing one of the Trimble XR10 hard hats with the HoloLens, and whoa, right. Oh my gosh. You look at all the partnership with the technology and how it's making our job site. I come out of residential construction, so I'm blown away by all of the scope and scale with commercial and industrial. But the technology isn't going to take away our jobs. It's only going to enrich the job sites. And I really hope a lot of folks, nationally, take advantage of the opportunities that DPR has to offer, because being on that forefront of, the technology, it's where it's going. So I'm jealous. I'm so excited. Actually, okay. Can you help me with this? Just because sometimes I forget, we might have viewers. We have a lot of teachers, a lot of students. And so they might not be very familiar with the different types of construction. So can you talk about what DPR's role is in the construction project? What sort of work do you all do?
Sure. So we're a general contractor. So basically the different entities you're going to find on a job site, you'll have your owner, right? Whoever wants to make the project has the money to do so, and the funds will hire a general contractor like DPR. And whether it's a design assist, or if we're just building, you'll have your designers contracted to the owner. And then we will subcontract all of our trade partners, our mechanical, electrical, plumbing, deep foundations, earthwork. And so as a general contractor, we manage those trade partners underneath us, write contracts for them for their scopes of work to complete the project. And then DPR also self-performs a lot. So we're not just a general contractor, we self-perform as well. So we self-perform concrete work, drywall, fire safing, doors, frames, and hardware, accessories. So we have that aspect of our business as well.
Gosh, which is another thing to highlight on that when we talk about working in the trades industry, it's everywhere. I still love swinging a hammer, but there are so many different career opportunities all over the place. And so, I want folks to check out constructionready.org, but Cameron, can you please remind our viewers again where they can find information about DPR?
Yeah, DPR.com.
Fabulous. So, okay. You've taught the class, you've been through the program, you now have a successful career in the trades. For folks who are signing up for a Construction Ready program, what are some traits or traits that would make someone successful in this industry?
I've over the years, I think I've found that people looking for a job that are passionate, really care about what they're doing. It doesn't really matter what you know. I can get somebody who's the most experienced person on the job and doesn't want to work or isn't passionate about it. What's valuable to me is get somebody day in and day out that wants to be here, wants to work, and is passionate about it. I'll take someone like that any day of the week.
I love hearing that because that's really all it comes down to. You know, we could teach anything, but show up on time. You know, don't look at your phone unless it's part of your job, which is I get it. But no, those are awesome characteristics. So Cameron, I know especially with your role, you are incredibly busy, and I cannot thank you enough for not only continuing to support Construction Ready, Skills USA, but taking the time out of your schedule to chat with us today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope that your projects go well. Can you tell us what you're working on currently, or is it secret?
It's confidential, but it's in Gwinnett. That's all.
All right. Is it cool?
It's really cool. It's good.
All right. Very cool. I can't wait to chat with you and find out in the future time what you're working on. So Cameron, thank you again for joining us for another lunchtime, and have a great rest of your week.
Okay. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.